Hey guys, woohoo! We're live and it's what day is it today, Kelly?
It is Sunday.
Sunday. We're so happy to spend Sunday with you. We don't normally spend Sunday with you, so this is kind of a treat. But it is a treat because we have a special holiday coming up, and we have a special cookbook that we love, and we've had it for since 2017?
16.
I think 2016.
2016. So this is our third year of this cookbook, and it's absolutely deliciously amazing. Our awesome recipe genius right here, Michelle Royale Vidal. Say hi, Michelle.
Hi, guys.
Is here to make sure that Kelly and I don't screw this up for you guys. But no guarantees, because we might. So we have a couple things that we're going to share with you. I just want to explain the screens that you see right now, though. So obviously, here's Kelly and I in our kitchen, and then Michelle at her place of genius where all the magic happens. And
my office.
We've got one screen that's on a loop showing you all of the beautiful images of the foods that are in the Easter cookbook. And Michelle, feel free anytime you want to chime in and explain what those are, because we're not doing all of those for you today. And then this screen you guys see over here where Kelly's and my hands are moving, that's where we're going to be food prepping the things that we are making for you guys today. Michelle's going to walk us through explaining these recipes and why they made it to the Easter cookbook, what's so significant about them, because as you guys may know, very important for us to provide for you guys are awesome, healthy options, alternatives, without compromising and sacrificing tradition or taste, especially around the holidays. So, Michelle, we're going to get started, and we just kind of want to go by your lead. We're going to start off with the deviled eggs, okay?
Okay, so the first thing that I would do if I was there, which, by the way, guys, I'm not there because the girls knew that if I was there, I would just kind of take over. You guys sit down. I'm going to cook for you, and that's just kind of the way I am. So I'm here 40 miles away, as far away as possible, so I cannot stand up and interfere. So, but if I was teaching this, the first thing I would do, obviously, is make your HEROMOM mayonnaise. And the reason we do our own mayonnaise all the time. The mayonnaise that you buy in the store usually has some really unhealthy oils in it that we don't like soybean oil. That's one of the most common. Even if you buy avocado oil or even an olive oil mayonnaise, if you read the ingredients, it's almost always a blend. Yeah. So be super careful when you're buying your ingredients. Making your own mayonnaise is much healthier, and it's really, really easy. So the main thing you want to remember when you're doing this recipe is that everything should be room temperature. You do not want to use a cold egg. Obviously, your oil will be room temperature, but make sure that you have a room temperature egg. Take it out of the fridge probably a good hour before you're going to make this recipe. And then Paula's going to show you really how quickly this recipe comes together. The oil and the egg emulsify almost immediately, and you have a brilliant, beautiful mayonnaise. And on the other side, you can see Kels is going to start prepping the eggs, which have already been boiled and peeled. And they're beautiful, by the way. Good job peeling those, guys.
Woohoo!
And Kels, you're going to pop.
Can do, even if Michelle's not here. I'm very proud of that.
Yay! Boiling an egg. And you know what? Boiling an egg is a huge skill because it's not that easy.
No, it's not.
And there's a lot of little tricks. So every family kind of has their own secret to boiling an egg. But you did an awesome job. They look gorgeous. For me, the biggest thing is peeling.
Yes.
I always feel that my eggs, right? I come out with maybe 8 good eggs and 4 or 5 that just didn't make the cut. Those all look gorgeous. So far, everyone looks delicious. So Paula's squeezing some lime juice into her container. She's going to use a hand blender, which I find is the easiest. And you're just going to do it straight into the jar or the container that you're going to keep your mayonnaise in. The recipe doesn't make a lot of mayonnaise because obviously you're using a fresh egg, so you don't want to keep it in the fridge any longer than maybe 3 to 5 days.
So you guys, this particular recipe is actually not in the Easter cookbook. Oh no, wait. We do.
It is. Yeah, we put it in with the deviled eggs. Yeah, but it's from our original 30-day eating plan.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right.
So I put powdered mustard, or ground mustard rather, raw egg, room temperature, some lime juice, and a little bit of pink Himalayan salt to get it started. And now I'm going to blend this up first.
Not too much.
So like some of the other recipes in the world say mix certain ingredients together before you add other ones. I'm just pointing that out because I didn't always do that. And so therefore things didn't always work out right. So.
And what are you using, Paula? You're using your avocado oil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yummy. And we like avocado oil. First of all, it's super healthy. It's avocado, everyone knows, is a really healthy fat. And I like avocado oil because it doesn't impart a lot of flavor. Like if you use olive oil, you're going to have the flavor of the olive oil. Avocado oil just makes a brilliant, very mild mayonnaise.
You can see it starting to turn?
Yep, keep it going, Pauls.
Can you see it from that camera? Overhead camera?
Yeah, I can see it, but I can't hear the blender.
I love this mayonnaise so much. So all the measurements, you guys, are in the cookbook. About 1.5 cups of the avocado oil. I'll tell you, you definitely want to do it exactly as the instructions say because it's an expensive mistake.
Yeah.
If you don't follow it right. And I'm just telling you that from experience as well.
Yeah.
Yes, it is an expensive mistake.
But if you follow it, it works perfect. And it lasts about, what do you say, like a week?
Yeah, about a week. Because you have a raw egg in there, so keep that in mind. Your oil is fine, but your egg is going to turn.
And it's so good. You will want to make sure you have recipes lined up for the week that will require mayonnaise. Or you'll find ways to make mayonnaise be included because you won't want to waste a bit of it.
Well, we have some yummy dressing recipes that use the mayonnaise. I think that our HEROMOM ranch dressing has the mayonnaise.
Yeah, so. Yes, it does.
That's super good.
Check that baby out.
Yummy, perfect.
Check it out. Let me get a spoon so you guys can kind of see how beautiful. I just love this. This recipe that we're making right now is one of the original recipes that made me fall in love with Michelle's genius brain as a cook, I guess, technically. But to me, she's a chef.
I'm a cook. I'm just a cook.
Not just a cook, babe.
I'm just a cook.
You saved my ability to stay on track with healthy eating. So there. Okay, so we've got Kelly doing this with that stuff. So I'm going to start getting these prepped.
Okay. So those are jalapenos, you guys. This recipe is a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet. It's got some bacon in it, and it is just really to die for. The spicy and sweet come together really nicely. And don't omit the jalapenos. I didn't realize, but Paula actually has some low heat jalapenos. So apparently that's a thing. So if you don't like a lot of heat, you can get the low heat jalapenos. We use the full octane jalapenos in this house. Mine are, I do not skimp on heat.
I did not know these were low heat, but they're really good still.
But that's okay. Not everybody likes heat. So if you're taking these to a party or something or a gathering and you don't know, they're perfect.
Yep. And you can always...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Like, well, in our house, we have like 15 kinds of hot sauce. Guarantee you could just put a little hot sauce on it if you want it hotter.
So, Michelle, will it mess up the consistency of the egg yolk at all if somebody really loves it hot and they want to add more? Well, I guess if they got the regular ones, they wouldn't have to add more. The recipe calls for the amount that you would use for regular heat,
right?
The natural heat of jalapeno. I don't know how they make these low heat. What would they have to do to it to make it low heat?
They probably de-seed them and take out the vein.
Oh, well, I do
that before they're pickled. But yeah, the only thing when you're adding something from a jar, because a lot of recipes too will add a pickle or something from a jar that's been pickled. So these jalapenos are pickled. Just be sure that you don't use a lot of the liquid. So see, like Paula's look pretty dry there. She didn't use a lot of the liquid. If you're doing it from a whole jalapeno, I recommend cutting the stem over the sink and letting the liquid drain out. So that doesn't become part of your recipe. You just want the vegetable.
Yep. Should we add these to that now, Michelle?
Yeah, you can just, at this point, you can just add everything together. There is no sequence right or wrong.
Okay. I always have to ask because I've messed up things before when I've done
that. This recipe doesn't matter.
For the mayo as well?
Yep, you can add, start adding stuff.
And that one is 3/4 cup.
So mayo is
3/4 cup.
Oh, you have that recipe there? Oh, it's in the thing.
And then the bacon, you can put it on top as a garnish, or I usually chop it up and put it in the yolk.
So, gosh. Starting to smell so good, you guys.
I'm hungry, and that's not fair.
Me too. It's lunchtime.
We have a little bit of ground mustard that we put in there.
All right.
And rice vinegar.
You got to have a little tartness.
Let me get you a spatula.
You also needed the liquid, the moisture of the vinegar. So don't leave that out.
And then we have a little stevia.
That's going to give you sweetness. Stevia is a natural sweetener, you guys. Just be careful. In the recipe, I believe it calls for a liquid stevia, just a couple of drops. Their stevia comes in so many forms. You've got a powdered form that measures like sugar. You've got a powdered form that comes with a teeny tiny, like less than 1/8 of a teaspoon measuring. That's usually the pure stevia. So be aware when you're sweetening with stevia that you really taste and make sure, add a little bit at a time. So if you don't have the liquid like that's called for in the recipe, Paula has her concentrated, just the pure stevia in a powdered form.
My favorite.
She's adding the amount that she knows she usually likes, but that's one thing you got to be aware of when you're cooking with stevia.
I'm an expert on how much stevia I put in stuff because I use it all the time. I love it.
But it's completely natural, and it doesn't spike your blood sugar. So it's going to give you that sweetness without that sugar response, and that's what we try to avoid.
Look at that. So I'm putting some bacon bits to the side to garnish.
Okay.
I always forget that.
And then how do you guys stuff your eggs? You going to put that in a bag?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
I spoon it in.
Okay, spoon it in. You can spoon it in, or you can pipe it in, however you want to do it.
That look on my face just totally
expressed.
Said, huh?
It looks really pretty piped in, but usually we want to eat them so quickly.
Yeah, that's my experience. I do like to pipe them because to me I'm messy, so it's easier for me to pipe. But the rate that people will eat these.
Yes.
If you want to spoon them in.
We're going to pipe just because it's a special occasion.
All right.
It's not a Sunday barbecue situation.
I feel the need to pipe, but I'm not going to.
All right. You spoon, I'll pipe.
Piping, meaning my instrument, a mouth instrument, if you will.
Okay.
My husband loves my mouth trumpet. He thinks it's fun. Let's
okay. Next. All right, Kelly.
Let's get back to the deviled eggs.
I'm a one-hand. Let's go.
Just so you guys know, we do have carrots on the cutting board. I'm sure you've noticed that already. Those are just for decoration. We're not actually using them today. So, but they're really cute. Aren't they so cute?
They're really cute.
The roots, as Michelle says, look like they've just been pulled out of the earth.
They look fabulous.
Okay, so.
All right, so get all the air out. Put all the egg yolk to one corner. And then you're going to cut a little hole.
On the corner where the stuff is, though, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't just like setting it to the side for a second just to trick it out.
No, you're going to want to use that.
All right.
And then you're just going to squirt it into the, and you
Where?
might need to, well, cut it like so that the hole is about 1/4 of an inch.
Okay.
You can always make it bigger, but you can't make it smaller. So, and when you're squeezing it, your hole will expand. So make it smaller to start with, and then squeeze really gently. There you go. Are you feeling a lot of resistance?
I am.
Okay, so you might need to make it a little bigger. I forgot we put bacon in there, guys, so that could be something that you might get some little squirts of bacon that shoots through. Kelly will probably give us some.
Oh, hello.
There you go.
We won't talk about what that looks like.
It's good. I am not the sound effects person. There you go.
We're gonna leave the sound effects alone today, apparently.
All right.
Kelly, can you hold that dish up more to the camera? Can you see that better, Michelle?
Yeah. So those look good. Fill them all, and then if you have extra, go back and top them off.
Okay. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, so it's going to be a little bit messy, you guys. But for your holiday plate, obviously, you want to look really pretty, so you can take your time. But for the sake of not boring you to tears with my amateur piping skills, I'm going to be fast. Okay. I think I need to do a little more twistage.
It looked good to me.
I know it does, doesn't it?
Paula, you're pretty good at this. You're a natural.
All right. I found a new hobby.
There you go.
Uh-oh. Here's a little. That egg white had a little problem.
It was a little weird.
Put up a little fight.
Oh, that's all right.
Obviously, did not. Well, still made it on the face. So that's kind of a
tastes the same.
Yes.
Now you can either go in and fill in the rest. How much egg yolk do you have left? A lot?
So.
Okay, go ahead and fill them up.
All right. Fill her up. Kelly, you point out the neglected ones, and I will go back to those ones. Uh-oh, that's going to be a big situation.
That'll be a big one.
A little constipated piping bag. All right. This is fun, you guys. I could be like
a pastry
I could forget the world for a second here and just like have a lot of fun doing this.
Whoops.
This guy feels a little bit neglected still. Okay. Michelle?
Hi.
How much should I feel guilty if I have any left? I feel like
if you have left, I mean, you could make a really bomb egg salad out of it if you have any others. So a lot of times there'll be eggs that got tossed to the side, so you might have extra yolk. You don't have to use it all. You could
garnish.
All right. That looks really messy.
Garnish.
It looks good at that angle. I think it looks good.
It tastes so amazing.
So the girls are putting a little bacon, and then
bacon. We're using all the bacon.
Because Michelle loves it so much.
I don't love bacon. But in our program, like a lot of people will look at some programs that are higher in fat, and they think, oh, I can eat bacon, I can eat cheese, I can do this, I can do that. You can eat bacon on our program. We don't. It's not a free-for-all. And we're really picky about what kind of bacon. So you definitely want to have a bacon that is uncured. You do not want to be putting nitrates and chemicals into your body. So we use uncured, center-cut bacon. That's really important because part of what our program does is help you detoxify the chemicals that you've been eating for your entire life that are stored in your fat cells. So the last thing you want to do is put nitrates or other chemicals into your body, because when we ingest those kind of things, our body doesn't know what to do with it. So you want to make sure that you use the healthiest choices that are available. So when you do see bacon in our recipes, it's always center cut, no nitrate bacon. And those look delicious. And I'm really pissed that I'm 40 miles away. That is not fair. Not fair. All right, go ahead.
Pretty, you guys? Okay, so maybe they're not the most pretty. Like Michelle would make them look like picture perfect right out of a magazine. But I'm just telling you, you will be the life of the party with those things. if you bring those. Everybody's going to freak out on how incredibly delicious they are. Yeah. Okay, so now...
And you guys better hide them because Dan and Aaron might finish them before you're done.
They might. They might. Okay, so now we're going to make some other stuff. But Michelle, the recipes that are on the loop right there, just like the recipes in general that are on this cookbook, can you kind of give us like how you came up with that and why those recipes and what they're connected to traditionally and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we actually did a survey in HEROMOM Nation and talked to different people about kind of what their family tradition was. And a lot of people, you know, serve ham or, you know, things that are definitely like if you buy a ham, 9 times out of 10 it's cured. It's got those nitrates in it. It's not the healthiest choice. So we like for ham, we have a pork loin, which is really healthy. We did a couple of Italian brunch recipes, which were really close to my heart. There's a frittata recipe in there that's absolutely amazing. We did traditional lamb chops. Lamb chops is a big item for Easter, and we just went with things that were kind of representative of the people in HEROMOM Nation at that time, and things that, you know, we knew would be great for a traditional Easter brunch that we could really make, you know, conform to the HEROMOM guidelines for eating. So, and they're all absolutely delicious.
Is this good? Yeah. They are delicious, and
the coleslaw is so good.
And Michelle thought of everything. She also, you know, she has anything from the savory stuff all the way to the. Aaron, can you unplug this? This and plug that in, pretty please. To all the way to the sweets. So she's not as much of a sweets person as I am, so I had to beg, and she delivered. So there's not this one dessert for Paula, but there's
four or five, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see in there, in those images.
Yeah. So those are the living cookies. That's a bundt cake. That's really, I think it's a berry bundt cake or a cherry bundt cake. These right here are yogurt pops, or actually they're made with coconut cream for the kids, and they've got berries and coconut cream. Absolutely delicious. There's the pork loin. Lamb chops. Yeah. So
we made the pork loin one year, and it was very good.
This is a green bean casserole. It's it's not the traditional with canned soup and canned onions. It's fresh. These are marinated olive. They're absolutely brilliant. The deviled eggs. These carrots with the balsamic reduction. Those are delicious.
All right. So Kelly's going to go through the frosting recipe. So Kelly, what do we need, and is there like a specific order of things that need to go together first?
Well, this frosting is for a carrot cake. So like Paula said, it was one of the sweets, and I don't know if the picture's in there, but we had the carrot cake already made because it would take too much time for us to do it for you on camera. So this is the cream cheese frosting that goes on top of the cake and in between layers. So we're going to use a hand mixer to beat together the cream cheese, which Paula has right there, and butter, which
is your bowl, babe. Make sure you use a big enough bowl. No, to do your mixing.
Do you think that's not going to be big enough?
I don't think so.
Okay. You don't think this will be big enough?
How big is it? Oh, it's deep. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. It looks really small.
It's only a block of cream cheese.
I'm like,
Kelly was really happy for a second that we're going to have all this frosting.
Oh,
that's her favorite part.
Yes.
Right, and this is a real buttercream. This is delicious. It's just sugar-free. And if you want, you could make it with a vegan cream cheese. But for a holiday, my opinion is go for it. Just keep the sugar out.
And we have the Kerrygold butter that we use.
And those are both room temperature.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. And then you're going to beat those together.
Oh, already.
Start on low.
In there.
So if you guys are not like fluent in the kitchen or super savvy in the kitchen like moi, you can see how easy this is, especially if you guys have this video. What's the matter? Why are you doing that?
Just in case. I'd say the bowl might not be big enough.
Is there something going to happen right now?
I don't know. I'm not there. Just start on low. Start on low.
We're good.
Get yourself a spatula. There you go. That looks perfect.
So fluffy? Okay.
And you're going to need to beat it until it's fluffy. Huh? Yeah, you can go higher if it's sticking. But you always want to start low.
I start on low. Should I increase like speed?
Yeah, you can go higher because you want it to be whipped. So Kels, read the directions.
It says beat together until fluffy.
Okay, so beat till fluffy. So go ahead. You're going to want to go higher because I just didn't want you to start high and have a mess. So start on low and increase your speed.
Okay.
And you're just going to beat it and make sure you use your spatula, babe, and scrape the sides of your bowl. And you're going to beat it until it's fluffy. They'll be completely incorporated so it only looks like one ingredient. And the consistency of it will change.
That's good. Okay. I don't know. I'm like thinking cotton candy fluffy, but
I don't think it's going to get much fluffier than this, right, Michelle?
Well, if you keep beating it, it will.
Oh, it will?
Well,
Yes.
oh, so we're not done.
Guess we're not done.
So I can't really see that good, but it doesn't make sense that it got fluffy that quick. And make sure you scrape the sides. Oh, my two little munchkins.
Is that good, Michelle?
How does it look? It looks a little fluffier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't really tell.
What can I do to make you be able to tell?
The beaters up there.
I would keep beating it. I would beat it like 30 more seconds.
Okay. I guess I'm too impatient.
What, babe? I can't hear you now. Because remember, too, it's got to cover 3 layers. All right, that's probably good. Let me see how it looks.
What's that?
All right, let's go with that.
That did not sound convincing. Am I going to need to use this again or should I pop the things on?
No, it says beat in the sweetener and vanilla until well incorporated.
Okay.
Right.
So here we have the real vanilla. And this sweetener is powdered erythritol.
Erythritol.
Can you tell us a little more about that, Michelle?
It's just a sweetener that has no, there's no sugar in it, but it tastes, very close to sugar. It measures like sugar, and it's really good for baking. Sometimes when you use stevia itself, because you have to use so much in a baked good, it comes out with a little bit of a chemical flavor. So this is better for baking.
Oh, it's well incorporated, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then finally we use heavy cream, a tablespoon of heavy cream, or more if needed. Now, Michelle, when it says or more if needed, how do we know we need it?
Well, you're going to want to check the consistency. I mean, sometimes when you're dealing with any ingredients, there can always be variables that, maybe you left a little bit of cream cheese on the wrapper, you didn't measure the butter exactly. We're not measuring by grams like you would in a real bakery. We're measuring by, common household measuring cups. So if the consistency, if you want it a little bit less thick, you could drizzle in a little more cream. But we're going to go with what the recipe says because we want it to be a little bit more thick because we're layering a cake, right?
Yep.
So go ahead and go with just what it says.
Okay. And then
Beat until creamy.
That heavy cream is, I think, a good one. No GMOs.
Oh, yes.
Organic, right.
Yep. This is all that
Yeah.
business. We never use GMOs, antibiotics, toxic pesticides, or synthetic hormones. And it's
Right.
organic, pasture raised. So this is the one that we put in there.
Right, and that's the one I buy too. And so that's, really important, you too, guys, that even on something like 1 tablespoon of cream, you want to use the best quality ingredient that you can buy, that you can afford, and that's available, obviously, in your area. So if you can only get organic, then buy organic. If you can get organic grass-fed, buy that.
Wow, definitely looks a lot thicker.
Yeah.
All right, so let's let Kelly taste it.
Ooh, I better get a little spoon.
No, you don't have to. I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it? Okay.
I'm not inviting anybody else over right now.
Is it good?
I think we better make another batch.
Okay. All right. Always, you guys, when you're baking,
I need that spoon.
when you're baking, make sure if your batter doesn't taste right or your icing doesn't taste right, it's not going to get better when you cook it or when you spread it. So make sure before you use it that it tastes good. Same thing with your cake batter. Right.
I have made the classic mistake of making the whole thing and never tasting it till it's done, and we're sitting at the table together with everyone.
Like what did I forget? And it's like cinnamon or something, and it's like when you taste it when it's raw, you can add something if it's not quite right. And sometimes when you're not working with sugar, it can be that you might need to add a little more sweetness. So always start off small and you can increase, but make sure you guys taste it. If it doesn't taste good to you, it's not going to taste good to your guests.
So Kelly said that because she actually liked it and wanted to hijack this recipe or this serving, not because
I'm a frosting girl.
Okay, so now we're going to do another piping situation.
You're going to want to pipe that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because it's easier. These girls are making a layer cake. They're not going to frost the cake completely. We're just putting the icing in between the layers. So it looks, I think it looks like a little more like country kitchen type. But the girls are also going to decorate it with spring flowers. So that's going to be fun.
Yes.
I'm dancing because I'm so excited.
Right? She's like, we're going to have to go to Frosting Anonymous in about 2 hours.
If you know my story, you know me and frosting.
But there's no sugar. No sugar.
On this one.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't mean you get a pass, but
girl, don't leave any in the bowl for you to lick later.
No, you're gonna need all of it. So
hey, all of it. She's trying to leave some in the bowl so she can go
I know.
Side on the camera and lick it up.
Because I have it all over my face coming back.
Hey.
So what? Okay. So let all the air out. I trapped a pocket of air.
That's all right. It'll come out.
That's right. When you cut it, actually, then it'll be better.
Okay. So.
All right.
Let us.
I'm going to move the beautiful carrots.
Okay. Move the carrots.
This is a 3-layer cake.
We'll see if we have enough frosting for 3 layers, though.
So
we might not.
Yeah, we got to be careful.
Okay, so small first.
So for your first layer, I want you to just do a big loop on the outside. Because I don't think you are going to have enough for 3.
That's all right. Well, you just use 2 layers then. We can prepare. We can always whip up another batch off camera.
Okay, good. Okay, Paula, you want it to be like all the way to the edge. Or is it all the way to the edge? That's fine. So if you're only going to do 2 layers,
it'll squish it down. Want to squish it to the edge?
It will squish it down. If you're only going to do 2 layers, go ahead and put some more in the middle.
Okay, and will we have enough for the top?
You should. You're not frosting the sides, so.
True. It's like a naked cake.
Right. You don't have to do the whole thing. Make sure you save some. All right, so let's plop the next layer on.
How's that, boss?
That looks beautiful.
You need to be closer, or are you good? Okay. Kelly has a very important yet fragile job. Woohoo! Success! Woohoo!
All right, now go ahead and slather that frosting on the top.
Same situation, like same exact technique?
Well, you're just going to slather it on, and then you're going to kind of smooth it out with the back of a spoon.
Okay.
So just get all the frosting on top of the cake. Because you don't want to waste any of that.
Oh no, I'll lick the bag.
There will be zero wasted.
Kelly's in the bag.
Inside
Looking
out.
on the bottom of the bag.
Oh, you think I'm kidding?
I know you're not. I know you're not.
I know.
Oh, look at how much I have left.
Oh, see?
Woo-hoo.
So
Just
you
keep
can-
going.
Well, I mean, if you guys want, we can plop on the third layer.
Oh,
Or do you think you have enough? I didn't see how much your bag depleted. Do you think you have enough for the top?
I think so.
All right, let's plop it on.
Make it work.
What's the worst that can happen?
We have to make more frosting.
That's right. Uh-oh, that didn't sound good.
Who said that?
Kelly said that.
Do we have an accident? Did it release and reapply? No.
She did that on purpose so she could
There
eat
ain't
that
no releasing.
frosting. All right, there you go.
Oh my God, this is awesome. Look at this. What?
I don't make things as pretty usually.
Michelle, you
Kelly.
gotta be a proud mama right now.
I am. Kels, what size cake pan did you use?
6 inches.
6 inches. All right, good job. You're
Cake pan. We're talking cake pan, babe.
yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What
I just don't want anyone mistaken in it.
I said, what size cake pan did you use?
I know.
All right, so squirt it on there. You're going to need a big spoon
Okay.
because you don't want it.
Please.
The middle layers don't matter, but the top one, you don't want it to look like a big old cat turd.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make the rest of this stuff come on here. So, all right.
And you are going to spread it around. So there you go. Oh, Kelly, she's eating the frosting.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Is this okay to use a tablespoon? I have a frosting big old knife at home, but
Okay, that should be fine. You're just going to want to try to spread it out evenly on top.
Dan says it looks good. He's excited about dipping into this situation.
There you go. That looks perfect. Look, Kelly is a frosting whiz.
Wow, that looks awesome, Kelly.
I also know how to put enough on the back of the spoon to eat it.
I know, right?
It's
It's like, oh, let me do this step. There you go.
Okay.
All right, now let's decorate.
Let's decorate. So first I'm going to take these awesome, cute little flowers. Can you see those? Yeah. I just bought these from Major Market. And Michelle, explain the rules about this and what I need to be doing. So I cut one already as a practice one.
All right, so
How all of them should be?
I would do no more than 2 inches. You want it to go, that's perfect. So
Okay.
you want it to be able to stick in basically anywhere on the cake. Just
Okay.
make sure, you guys, that if you have a flower that seeps a little bit, you want to cut it in advance. Roses, orchids, all those things, you can cut them right at the time that you're decorating. And you just place them anywhere on the cake that you think looks cute. And make sure when you go to cut the cake, obviously take off the flowers. It's just for decoration.
So we can't eat
No
these.
eating these, baby.
No, there are edible flowers, but they go good in salads. They do not go good with cake.
Okay.
And
Are these cute garnish things?
they're
Yeah,
super cute.
those two. Not sure how, but we'll figure it out.
Now I want you to smell that whatever green thing it is that you're cutting right now.
It smells like it's definitely very fragrant.
Oh,
Okay, and then I would not put it in your cake
why?
Okay.
because it'll wherever you stick that in, because that's more like it comes from probably a tree. It's that
Okay.
fragrance will transfer. Like if you smell those the Gerbera daisies, the flower itself has very little fragrance and the stem nothing. So remember, if something's really fragrant, it's going to, just like if you're cooking in the kitchen with heavy perfume, that smell can transfer to your whatever you're cooking,
I got some on my arm.
right? Oops. So yeah.
Okay.
If you want greenery, we can use maybe just the leaves and like stick them onto the frosting.
So Michelle, we're sticking this like literally right into the cake, right?
Yep. And you guys are in charge. Just make it however you think pretty.
Sorry, background noise. Animals.
And you can put some on the sides too.
Like this.
Yep. Oh.
This one's a gimpy. A gimpy flower. Gimpy stem. I'm just going to get placed.
There you go.
Oh, I want these.
Oh, that looks really pretty.
What about greens?
You can do green if you want. Just remember that sometimes less is more. It's up to you. How creative do you want to be?
Just do one. Okay. There.
That looks gorgeous. I love it.
And that was so easy.
I love it.
Yay.
Oh, that
Happy.
is so pretty.
Okay, let me come to the camera.
Oh, it looks great from the side too. I love it.
Yay. I'm so proud of us. We did it. It
Beautiful.
actually looks pretty.
Oh.
Oh, hello. Oh my gosh,
Careful,
guys.
don't-
I actually can't see if you're, Michelle, do you have anything pulled up where you can see if anybody's been asking for comments? Or if
Oh,
anybody's-
I'm commenting. I think Tina's on with us. Jody's on.
Okay.
Gina Osborne, my cousin Charito.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys. We can't see you if you're on. If you have questions, please be putting them in, or any comments that you have. This is
So
Kelly.
pretty. I know. I can't believe I actually made something so pretty.
That is really pretty. And I love, I am terrible at frosting cakes, like the whole cake. To me, this is gorgeous, and it's so simple that anyone can do it, and you look like a professional. My other secret is bundt cake. If you can't frost a cake, do a bundt cake and drizzle. You can drizzle the frosting.
Look, do what you gotta do. Don't worry about us.
It's really pretty.
Okay. Well, goodness. So those are all the recipes that we have. Let's take that to the side to keep it in the shot. And let's get some of these eggs out. These deviled eggs. So these are just some of the recipes. Obviously, there's tons more in the cookbook, you guys. So there's a link there that you can click on to grab the whole cookbook and make some of these amazing recipes for your family, for you guys to celebrate and really enjoy the holiday with traditional type of recipes that are delicious, but are not going to kick you out of the momentum that you're on. If you're trying to stay healthy, these are all super healthy, very high quality ingredients. They've been formulated by Michelle to be HEROMOM approved, so that when you guys are using them, especially with our program, it complements it perfectly. Not only that, but in our calendar for those who are following our program, we actually schedule in the day of the holiday. So wherever a holiday lands, we schedule that holiday to be the day that we have these kinds of meals, so that it fits perfectly in with the program that you're following, and it doesn't throw you off in any way. So the only thing that's going to throw you off is if you go off the plan. Right. And it goes too crazy.
Or if you eat the whole cake. If you're single and you make that cake, I mean, come on now. But yeah, so you can overdo good things. Everything in moderation.
Yeah, exactly. Come taste, Erin. Come taste. Come taste. Everybody have one of these beautiful, beautiful jalapeno eggs. We're gonna bring our husbands in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Erin's taking pictures in the background.
Taking pictures of all you watching out there. Awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Here, Erin. I'll grab from the plate here.
Well, get a picture of that cake, man.
And that
I know,
cake
it's
is
so pretty, isn't it?
beautiful.
Let's get some.
Look at that cake. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I
You guys did really
love it. We're doing
good.
live video of
Yeah.
Erin taking pictures of the cake.
And I usually don't
And
make
then-
such pretty things. So teamwork.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome, you guys. This is so awesome. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love celebrating these moments with you and just doing a bunch of fun stuff. And these were just some of the recipes we wanted to share. There's so many more, but you guys take a look at them. Get the recipes by clicking on that link. If you have questions about them, ask Michelle. We're going to include this video for those of you who are getting the cookbook, so that you guys have this cooking video too. So you get to actually have Michelle in your kitchen with you, walking you through some of the stuff and explaining why these recipes are so awesome for you.
Oh, cheers. Cheers.
Mm.
All right, now bring me an egg.
Michelle, there's for you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, for all these fabulous recipes.
Yeah.
They're so, so good. And they are It makes it so easy for us. Thank you.
You're welcome. I
Oh
love
my God, I love it. Okay, yeah. All right, guys, if you have any questions, put it in the comments. We're just going to be pigging out on cake and egg right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Have an amazing Sunday.
Bye,
And
guys.
you guys
Happy
have
Easter.
an awesome Easter if you're cooking these recipes.